Hey everyone, and welcome back. When you think of Demon Slayer, you instantly think of Tanjiro and Nezuko. Their unbreakable bond is the emotional foundation of the entire series. It's perfect, it's beautiful, it's pure love. But let me challenge you on something. I believe that outside of Tanjiro and Nezuko, Demon Slayer has some of the worst, most tragic, and most messed up sibling relationships in all of anime. It's a world where siblings either destroy each other, are torn apart by trauma, or are forced to sacrifice everything just to survive. Today, we're making the argument that Demon Slayer is a secret masterclass in sibling tragedy. 1. The golden exception, Tanjiro and Nezuko Kamado. We have to acknowledge the one major exception right at the start. Tanjiro and Nezuko are the gold standard. Their love is utterly selfless, defined by sacrifice and protection. Nezuko's willingness to resist her demonic instincts and Tanjiro's refusal to give up on her humanity is the driving force of hope in the series. They are the beautiful exception that proves how devastatingly cruel the rule is for everyone else. 2. The toxic mirror, Gyutaro and Daki. Gyutaro and Daki, the upper-rank 6 siblings, represent the absolute worst outcome of sibling codependency. Their bond was built on the filth of the entertainment district. Gyutaro literally became a monster for Daki, and Daki became cruel for Gyutaro. Their love was toxic, built on shared rage. Even in their final moments, they were screaming insults at each other before realizing they couldn't exist apart. They are bound together in hell, never able to find peace. 3. Protection through hate, Sanemi and Genya Shinazugawa. This is the most painful example of separation by trauma. After Sanemi was forced to kill their demon-turned-mother to save Genya, he spent years treating his brother with literal violence and vitriol. Why? To scare him into quitting the Demon Slayers. Sanemi used hatred as a shield, believing that if Genya hated him, he'd stay away from the front lines and live a long life. They spent their final years as strangers, proving that in this world, love often has to look like abuse just to protect someone. 4. The shadow of genius, Yoriichi and Kokushibo. This is the ultimate sibling failure. Yoriichi was a gentle genius, while his twin brother Michikatsu was consumed by envy. Their relationship wasn't ruined by demons, it was ruined by ego. Michikatsu hated that he could never catch up to his brother's light, leading him to betray his family and become the monster Kokushibo. He spent centuries as a demon just to outlive his brother, only to realize he had lost his soul in a race he could never win. 5. The twin regret, Muichiro and Yuichiro Tokido. The Tokido twins were two sides of a tragic coin. Muichiro was a dreamer, while Yuichiro was a cold pragmatist who harshly rejected his brother's kindness, thinking it was a weakness that would get them killed. Yuichiro's constant verbal abuse was his twisted way of trying to keep Muichiro safe. It wasn't until Yuichiro was dying from a demon attack that he finally prayed for his brother's survival. That trauma was so deep, it wiped Muichiro's memory entirely, leaving him a hollow shell. 6. Vengeance as an inheritance, Kanae and Shinobu Kocho. Kanae was the older sister who dreamed of peace. When she was murdered by Doma, that peace died with her. Shinobu didn't just lose a sister, she lost her own personality. She spent the rest of her life wearing her sister's smile like a mask, while her insides burned with a singular, suicidal thirst for revenge. Kanae's death didn't strengthen the bond. It corrupted Shinobu into an instrument of death. 7. The guilt of the saved, Giyu Tomioka. And Sutako Giyu lives under the paralyzing weight of survivor's guilt. His sister, Sutako, hid him and sacrificed her life to a demon the day before her wedding. Giyu didn't just lose a sibling. He lost his sense of self-worth. He spent his entire career as a Hashira believing he was a fraud because he lived while his sister, the better person, died. Their relationship is just a permanent, open wound of debt. 8. The Ninja Deathmatch, Tengen Uzui and his siblings. Tengen's backstory is pure horror. He grew up in a ninja clan where his father forced the siblings to fight each other to the death in training. Tengen and his one surviving brother were the only ones left after killing their own siblings. In Tengen's world, a sibling wasn't a companion, they were a target. He had to become a survivor by killing his own blood. a trauma that redefined his entire existence. 9. The burden of the curse, the Ubuyashiki siblings. The 5 Ubuyashiki children, Hinaki, Nichika, Kiriya, Kanata, and Kuina, didn't get a childhood. They were born into a hereditary curse, raised to be the leaders of a war they didn't start. The 2 oldest daughters, Hinaki and Nichika, stayed by their father's side and died in the explosion meant to trap Muzan. They were only children, yet they were forced to choose death alongside their parents, leaving their young brother, Kiriya, to lead a war while still in mourning. 10. The surrogate father, Kyojuro and Senjuro Rengoku. The Rengoku brothers had a beautiful bond, but that's what makes it so tragic. With an abusive, alcoholic father, Kyojuro became everything to Senjuro, his mentor, his protector, and his father figure. When Kyojuro died, Senjuro was left completely alone with a father who hated him. Kyojuro's death didn't just take a brother, it took the only light in Senjuro's dark house, leaving a young boy to grieve in a home that offered no comfort. Conclusion. When you look at the evidence, it becomes clear that Demon Slayer isn't just a story about the bond between siblings. It's a story about how war and trauma systematically dismantle those bonds. While Tanjiro and Nezuko represent the ideal, the hope that love can conquer even the darkest transformation, every other pair serves as a warning. From Sanemi and Genya's Wall of Silence to Yorichi and Kokushibo's Centuries of Envy, the series shows us that in a world full of demons, the person you love most is often the person you are most likely to lose, betray, or be forced to hurt. These relationships are the true heart of the series' tragedy, proving that in the end, a happy sibling relationship is the rarest miracle of all. Thanks for watching, everyone. Which of these sibling stories broke your heart the most? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of Demon Slayer. I'll see you in the next one.